couple of months ago, I started a project called Believe in Me. And this project is about collecting stories from around the community of people's own paranormal experiences and trying to create a safe space that people can share these experiences and tell their own story. The idea for this came after I made a video called Stop the Drama, Bring Back the Paranormal. And basically in that vlog, which is still on my channel, I was talking about the fact that there was so much drama going on that paranormal content was getting less and less and less because the drama was taking over, and we needed to get back to the paranormal, that we need to focus on the paranormal in this community, because that's why this community is here, to expose fakery, to do research, to discuss paranormal, and paranormal of different types. That's something that I feel very strongly about. And it got a lot of comments and it got a lot of feedback, and I was very happy with the support and the comments that came in underneath the video. And I pinned one comment to the top. It is a comment, I've used parts of it when I've been advertising the Believe in Me project, but I think it's only fair that if I'm expecting other people to share their stories, that I should share mine, and that will be coming up shortly. In a video, I'll be starting to share my own stories. But one of the comments underneath this video came from somebody that I've known for some time, Stormy After Dark. I pinned the comment to the top of the comment section underneath the video, and it is the comment that spurred on the idea of doing the Believe in Me project. Now, I've used little sections of Stormy's comment in the advertising, but I think before I go into my own stories and before we go into this any further, I think it's worth looking at Stormy's comment in more depth to try and get an explanation as to why this project has started and why it's important. First off, brilliant Sarah, thank you. I'm going to say my piece finally. I hope you don't mind. Of course I don't mind. And it's kind of part of the point of this whole project, is people actually feeling as though they can put their opinions, can put their experiences, can put their stories forward. She goes on to say, a high percentage of people in lives I've never heard mention the paranormal at all. I think a lot of the content creators, like myself, do see lives as relaxation and a bit of fun. I love it when the paranormal comes into play on my lives, but I don't force it, because I'd let the chat lead me. And unfortunately, in terms of the drama, often where the discussions start is because there's drama going on rather than talking about paranormal. But I have had some wonderful paranormal discussions on the lives. But obviously, it's not always paranormal based, and I would find a way to maybe do the occasional live that's more focused upon that. There is a lot of drama within the community. There's a lot of drama in any community, though. It's not nice, and as a content creator, it's a headache. It's no fun to watch. It's concerning, but you have to deal with it. Sometimes I get embarrassed that, you know, I should be releasing a video quicker than I should be, and more times than not, it's because I'm dealing with behind the scenes stuff. So it does affect the whole thing. In a perfect world, if you're within the debunking community, if you're within the paranormal community, it's because that's what you want to focus on. But at the end of the day, it's social media, and that's what happens. She says, I find it astonishing when there are so many people who go and investigate, spending thousands of hours talking to the air, expecting the dead to light up their phony devices, expecting a circus act. And this is kind of the point, and this is being reinforced more and more. Crow, earlier in the week, released a video called Debunkers versus Project Fear, and he took the Ancient Ramin and an investigation some of the debunkers did at the Ancient Ramin, an investigation that Project Fear did, and compared and contrasts what happened, the reactions, and the amount of paranormal activity that was caught It was a very good video to just reinforce the fact that people go out week after week after week. Real investigation teams go out week after week after week, and they come back with nothing or very little. Whereas the fake channels go out week after week after week, and within 5 minutes of them stepping in the door, paranormal activity. And that is particularly activated by driving the narrative forward, using the devices, using the apps, using the spirit boxes. And this is where it comes around to the project. There is a small handful of us who have had serious experiences. Not one of those supposed serious investigators have ever asked us any questions or even wanted to speak to us. In fact, one of the more dramatic investigators called me a know-it-all in a live because I have seen full-body apparitions since I was 5 years old. Now, this is something I find myself, even as a content creator, if I'm honest. I've had a lot of potentially paranormal experiences. And I will sometimes say sit on a panel, and I'm not a debunker, I'm not an investigator, but I do have a lot to say. And I'm getting better and better at putting that forward. But sometimes I can get stuck on a panel. And I'm laughing because it is funny. But I sometimes get stuck on a panel and it's all investigators, and they're talking about investigation techniques, talking about what cameras they're using, etc. And I have no part in that conversation. But that doesn't mean I don't have things to say. It doesn't mean the chat don't have things to say. And it doesn't mean that what we all have to say about our research, about our experiences, about our interests shouldn't be included in what happens in this community. And this is why this was the trigger to actually starting the Believe in Me project, because I want more voices to be heard. Regardless of some of their arrogance, indeed, we few have seen the holy grail of the paranormal. And holy grail is a good way of putting it. I mean, I am 58 years old. I have had multiple potentially paranormal experiences. 5 or 6 big experiences that I can't explain. That's over a long time. I'm not going out week after week. I've never gone out to find it. It's always just happened to me. So the idea that you can go out week after week and have all this amazing evidence captured, no, we'd all be experiencing more paranormal, whether we had a camera in our hand or not, if it was that prevalent, if it was that constant in its occurrence. Stormy goes on to say, I fully support you, Sarah, and most of the debunkers. I forgot to add that when I first joined this community, and throughout the time I've supported it, because of telling the truth about some of my experiences, I've been called the worst possible names. This is one of the problems, I think. I'm not saying it's a bad problem or a good problem. It's an inevitable problem with a community like this, because we're focused on the paranormal. And I've done vlogs on this before where we have people who are very much skeptical, if to complete skeptic. We have people who very much believe, almost to the point of what I think can be blind belief. But I think a lot of us sit in the middle, where it might be that we've had an experience, or that we know somebody who has, and we believe that paranormal is possible, that paranormal is potentially real. But what we're looking for is the evidence of it. We're not looking to blindly believe. We're not looking to dismiss it as rubbish. We're looking for true, honest investigations, true, honest research, and use of people's experiences. Yes, I've had loads of experiences. I didn't have a camera with me. Doesn't mean these stories aren't important. Doesn't mean Stormy's stories aren't important. Doesn't mean anybody's stories aren't important. When I'm asking for stories for the project, I'm not looking for people to be judged. I'm not looking for people to say, this is definitely real paranormal. I'm looking for the experience. Let's collate these experiences and see if there's anything that can help move the research into the paranormal forward. I also would like to add to what Stormy said here. I've been called the worst possible names. If you're even if you are a complete skeptic or mainly a skeptic, and most of the people I know who are skeptics are open to the possibility, they just want to see evidence. But even if you're a skeptic, you are in a paranormal community. You're in a paranormal community, and another reason for this project, where there are a lot of people in your comments, there are a lot of people in the chat who believe they've experienced something and they're looking for answers. So being dismissed, being unheard, or to the point of being laughed at, called names, which hopefully is rare but can happen, that's not good. That's not promoting our community. I mean, I am looking to expand some of the topics on this channel. I am about to start fairly soon, actually. And I am aware that there's the potential that there's going to be some people who are going to look at what I'm covering. And I may lose subscribers. I may have people in the comments telling me it's rubbish. You know, I'm a content creator. That's going to happen. But respect the people in the comments. Respect the people in the chat. You don't know what people's backgrounds are. You don't know what their experiences are. And that's why this discussion needs to be more focused upon. She talks about some of the names that she's being called, and says, yet the same people's cliques who have done this support several frauds who stage and fake in the same community. And that is a problem in terms of irony, in terms of hypocrisy. You're going to support a faker, you're going to, sit on Lee's channel and pray for him because, he's got a portal in his living room. But you're going to make fun of somebody who is trying to tell you they've had a paranormal experience. Stormy is absolutely right. It doesn't make sense. She says, to me, it's all about the money and to get the fame of catching the holy grail on drama for subs and clicks. And she's right. It's the wrong reason. And it's why a lot of real investigators don't have a YouTube channel. But I don't think it's bad to have a YouTube channel, obviously, because I've got one. But if you're an investigator, you're getting your content out there. But the flooding of all the fake videos and the fake stories they are the ones with the huge subscribers. They are the ones with the huge amount of views. So they are the ones that people focus on. Realistically, anybody with a YouTube channel is looking for clicks and views. Because you want people to see, whether you want to earn money or not, you want people to see your content. Otherwise, you wouldn't put it out there. But content with integrity is what is needed. And when you're in a community, because not every topic has communities, when you're in a community, mutual respect needs to be more common. You see, over 2 years ago, I believed in the paranormal community, but they didn't believe in me. And that's where the title comes from, Believe in Me. Let's get those stories out there. There will be books published, there will be videos made. I'll put in the description all of the contact details if you want to submit a story. If you are nervous about your name being there, you can use a pseudonym. Not looking for people to, so if you're nervous that people have seen that you've gone into the book or your story's been used on the channel or in another publication, the that people are going to make fun. That's fine. Use a pseudonym if you don't want to use your real name. This is about getting the stories out there. So the next video, as I said, I'll be putting out will be one of my experiences. I will be putting several of my experiences into video form. And again, thank you to those who've already submitted their experiences. Let's keep that going, and let's create a voice for those who've had paranormal experiences, aren't a debunker, aren't a investigator, may not even be a channel. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The voices need to be heard from everybody. Please don't be afraid to tell your story.